One new permission. Welcome everyone to this beautiful evening on my new permission. Metal detecting in the evening. It's going to be so fun. It's been too long, hasn't it? This winter has just lasted so long. I reckon I've got until about 9 o'clock and it's about 7:30 now, so I reckon I've got an hour and a half, and I just want to get to know this new place. It's so exciting. I only got this new permission today, so I just couldn't resist it. I thought I'll just quickly pop out and have a look and see what it's all about. So we're going to stick to the sunny patches because it's warmer. Put on all the old clothes I can find in the house I'm staying in to keep me warm, and I've got one glove, and we're just going to see what we can find. I walk through this field during COVID every day. And I detect on the neighbouring field as well. So I know what I found there, and that is a mixture of mainly medieval things. What I think looks like a Roman / Saxon type of a strap end, very kind of crudely made one, handmade, very difficult to date. So this could be really good in here. The farmer has warned me that it's full of metal, which I said is not an issue for me. I like metal, but obviously what we want is metal of the right variety, and that's where my XP Deus 2 comes in. Fantastic machine and really good at discriminating between the rubbish and the good stuff. Unusually, I haven't actually had time to do any research on this ground. Same again here. Unfortunately, it looks like we've got a lot of tin can. In amongst the tin can there will be great stuff. My challenge is going to be patient enough. First find of the field, it's a button. Classic. It's another button. Exactly the same style as the last one, so this must be the button style of the century in about 1790 probably. Just coming close to this tree line, and I remember a kind of ghost story that I was told when I lived here. People said that in this little section of the woods just behind me, where there's currently a footpath, and I think there probably has been for quite a long time, there are the sounds of soldiers' feet heard, and the sound of marching boots, and it's always referred to as a Roman army. I don't know if it's true. I never experienced it myself, but we're going to stay out here till it's dark, so let's see. I was going to say deep iron, but it's not. It's some... Oh wow. Oh. This I have not ever found before. It looks like lead, and it's almost like a kind of toggle button. The top's got a lovely design on it. Look. Now I'm going to give that a squirt. I'm actually pretty excited about this. I've not found anything like this made of lead. It's got something of the Roman about it. It's similar in style to that horse mount that I found. Similar sort of segmented design. For me, that's my find of the day for sure. I haven't ever found anything like this before. It can't be a button because it's too heavy, surely. What a lovely, lovely object. It's quite interesting. I'm in a little kind of pocket of the field which sticks out on the end of this huge field. So I imagine it's probably been less cultivated than the rest, and it certainly feels crumblier to dig, and also I seem to be getting much less of scrappy signals of you know, tin cans and stuff. So I've got a signal here in the 70s, or 70s are often nice. So let's do it together, shall we? Already done a bit of excavating. Oh, there it is. Oh, boring. It's just a piece of, I think, a piece of machinery, farm machinery. It's 9 o'clock now, and I am actually starting to find it quite difficult to see. I've just found a coin. I think it's a Victorian coin, but I can't, my eyes are too rubbish. I can't see. I'm just going to put a torch on it, so if I can, perhaps I can take a picture of it and see what date it is. I'll let you know. I've now had a little chance to have a look at the LiDAR and the old maps, and a bit of information about this place where we're detecting. So what I can see is that the field, which is this area here, large field, this was the little section where last night I found this. Looking again at the map, this little area here is where we were detecting last night. So on the corresponding map on the other side, what I can see going on there is 3 footpaths. 1, 2, 3 old footpaths. This is a map from the 1840s, so that's interesting. Those footpaths may have been there for hundreds of years prior to that map being made, so I think that's probably why we found that object yesterday. Let's go and have another look there today. So now looking at the LiDAR map, I don't see a lot of evidence of that footpath remaining there. It's more kind of traffic by, I would say, by the tractor, and this is because this funny little section is difficult for the tractor to get in and turn, so they're using, I think, this area to sort of do the large part of the field, and then this bit gets less cultivated. But it's interesting because I can't really see much in the way of detail on those footpaths. But anyway, that's where we're going to head back to today. So last night's find, it's really nice, isn't it? It's got this kind of spoke design. Someone online said perhaps it might be a wheel off a toy, but I don't think it will. I actually think it's just a very large button or cloak fastener. I mean, it's so heavy, I think it must have been used for a very heavyweight cloak. But interestingly, it's got quite a small hole, so it can't have been attached by many threads, which is probably why it fell off. Good morning, with the sound of the skylark above us. So I'm looking at this little apron of land, which is where there should be 3 footpaths. So here it is the right way round. So on the map we were looking at 3 footpaths, one running down that edge, one diagonally across that way, one diagonally across that way. So we need to investigate that, I think, this morning. I'm going to dig it just because I don't want to miss anything. I'm just thinking that if that button fastener thing that I found yesterday is Roman or even medieval, it means that this path will have been used for a lot longer than that 1840s map. Quite likely these old footpaths will have mirrored places where people have walked for many centuries before, because people like to take the easy route. So if there's an easy route, that's probably most likely where the footpaths fall. Yes, now it looks good. Definitely worth checking. Oh, it's a coin. Let's spray it and see what it is. Not sure that we'll ever find out what that one was. This sounds good. And again, I'm still on this line down the edge of the field. where the footpath was marked. There we are, another coin. This time we've got a king. Not sure we're going to get a year. Lovely. So we are definitely on a footpath here, aren't we, guys? Fantastic research linking up with actual real life practice. And I think because we're on the very edge of the field, we're not experiencing so much movement of artefacts because the plough can't get to this edge. So this could bode well. There's a date on here. 1919. Just post World War One. Tell you what, this field is a lot of fun. There's signals everywhere. I mean, some of them are admittedly kind of trashy little bits of can. Another interesting thing about this set of footpaths, which I didn't strike me, but now it has, is that it converges 3 footpaths in one place. So that's a really interesting thing if you think about it. It's quite likely to be somewhere where people will have met. That's the kind of place where more people, more traffic will have been. So we're going to go back and look at that bit in a minute. But first of all, I've got a signal. Came up as a 62 and I've had to dig, and then I discovered it's actually in the side of the hole. I can see that it's green. So it might be something pretty nice. This soil is so heavy. It's like working with clay almost. Ooh, what's that? Could be part of a very large buckle. Yes, I think that's what it is, because look, I can see a hole here. The material slightly thickens there, and there's a hole. So that's part of a really quite a big buckle. I mean, you can imagine how big that would have been. Probably a shoe buckle, I guess, maybe Georgian. Brilliant. I've covered almost half this field, and this little section of field anyway, and I've had nothing, no signals at all until now. Just found something with an 82, 83, really nice and clear. Hopefully it'll be something good. Oh, boring. It's a boring old lump of lead. I'm so hot. I'm literally so hot right now. Onwards and upwards. This is so weird. I've just literally been digging a hole, and right near me is this deer poo. And I looked up and there was a deer. It's just gone, but there was a deer about, I don't know, 100 yards away. It must have literally quietly just walked past me, done a poo and walked off again. And yeah, amazing, so quiet. Must have come through the woods there, I think. I was just about to give up then because I'm so hot. I've been walking and not finding anything, and I'm starting to think actually sometimes the atmospheric conditions can mean that the ground just doesn't give you anything. So I was just thinking, oh, I can't be bothered with this. And then, this. Now, I haven't cleaned it. I don't know what it is. It could be nothing, but it looks quite interesting. I think actually it's lead, as opposed to silver. Oh! Oh! Hello. Oh, I'm excited. Oh, that's a beautiful little design, isn't it? I wonder if it's a gaming piece or maybe a some kind of a token, maybe? That's super cool, isn't it? I love it. Now I'm going to say medieval. Not far at all from where I found that cloak fastener. And probably similar era, wouldn't you say? Really pleased with that. I'm very glad that I didn't give up. What a twit. Anyway, we'll carry on for now. I've got about another hour and I'm going to use it to the best I can. But definitely this must be medieval corner, I think, here in this field. Here's an unusual thing. Looks like a rabbit poo, but it's not. It's like a pellet of, I think, bronze. I don't think it's got any markings on it, but it looks quite deliberately that shape, doesn't it? I must admit I got a bit excited and thought it might be a stator for a moment, but I don't think it is a stator because it's too deep and thick. But it's definitely got a kind of nice shape and weight to it. Just had this very nice signal at around the 69, 70-ish mark. It's pretty promising, guys. Definitely a coin. The question is, what kind of coin is it? Is it a Roman coin? It's definitely got something on it, but sometimes you can see in the sun, but today I can't really see. What that is. I don't think it's a Roman coin, because normally Roman coins have quite prominent markings, quite thick. The only thing that makes me think it might be is it's got almost got like an inner ring, which I know some of the Roman coins have got a kind of laurel wreath, and it's also got that kind of edge around it which shows that it's been like stamped or cast. I'm not sure we're ever going to know, but if anyone does know, give me a yell. Just hopped over this fence back to my house. This is literally grass as high as my head. Look. I'm going to say that as new permissions go, that one was pretty special. I'm going to be coming back to this permission time and again. Oh, this grass is something else. Ouch. Got some. Ouch. It was lovely to see the deer this morning. I can actually see a track from some animal here. I'm going to follow it. Make my journey hopefully a little bit less stingy. So what did we find? Well, a number of coins. Victorian penny. It's called a bunhead. It's one of the younger Victorian pennies from early in her reign. And then, oh look, I found a little clearing here. This must be where the deer are sleeping at night. I also found what looks like a coin, but I can't be sure. But I think the kind of most interesting objects that I found are those two lead items. One of them I'm pretty certain is a button of sorts, but it's so big, there's no question it could have been used on anything other than a cloak, I think. It's interesting because where I'm detecting is an area that traditionally, and certainly in medieval times, the reason these villages are here is that they were wool mills and wool markets. So it's right and proper that someone should be wearing a big fat woolen cloak fastened with a big button. And what a cool motif on there. And I'm still not convinced that it is medieval. I think it could be Roman, but so hard to tell with the lead objects. So I think my next port of call with that will be to go on the Portable Antiquities Scheme website and have a good look for similar objects. See if I can find anything that resembles it and then go from there. Anyway, really chuffed. Thanks for joining me on my metal detecting adventure. Hope to see you all again very soon. Please subscribe if you haven't already. See you all soon.